Mad Monkey Entertainment welcomes you to the B46 podcast. We discuss great music, those who make it, and their stories, all before you get your night started. Here are your hosts, Marv and Bishop.
Hey, I'm Marv.
And I'm Bishop, and we are Bad Monkey. Welcome to B46.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing, Marv?
Not too bad. It's been kind of a long few days, but doing pretty good.
It's been a minute. Yeah,
Has been a minute.
Had a lot going on. But it's B46, and today we got Morgan Greenlee with us from Nashville,
Tennessee.
Nashville, fucking Tennessee.
We're about to head there ourselves here soon.
Yeah, this week.
Yeah.
But I think she's in the green room.
In the green room right now. Yeah, I think so. I should probably invite her in, right?
Yeah.
All right, here she comes.
What up?
Hey, what's happening?
Good. I was literally just sitting here talking to myself like, can they hear me?
Well,
how are you guys?
We're good.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah.
It's been
Good.
we haven't done a podcast in a little bit. We've had stuff going on, and then we had a St. Patty's Day party. We just had so much going on that we haven't been able to do this.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to get you on, right? And then every time I was like, which was no problem, but you were like, so it was scheduling conflict. But I was like, cool, because I got some other shit to focus on. So I just kind of like,
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy for us.
I was about to say, it sounds like it's been crazy for everybody because I'm in the same boat.
yeah. But we appreciate you making time to come on.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
talk to us and
Well, thank you guys too. I appreciate it.
and I know your cousin, so I it's kind of how. Is your cousin, right, Alan?
Yeah. I'm sorry that you know him. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. The unfortunate part, I don't know if it's unfortunate or fortunate, but that's kind of my circle of friends is,
Yeah.
that's my people, bearded country,
Big old bearded country boys.
loyal people, so, it's all good.
No, he's awesome, man. He's if anyone watches in my family, he you didn't hear this, but he is probably one of my, if not the favorite cousin. He's awesome. He's an awesome guy. Yeah, big bearded guy.
Yeah, I mean, we're people for sure. He's not my favorite person, but no, I'm just
Just fucking around.
I was about to say, I will absolutely tell him that. That's okay.
He'll be what the fuck?
He'll be watching this and be like,
of course, Bishop said, yeah. So, tell us about yourself. Where you're from? How'd you get to Nashville?
So I actually am from Oregon originally, born and raised there all my life. 2017 came around. 2015, I was in school. So I was in college running track. And I was like, you know what? College is just not for me. Not a school girly.
Right.
So I actually decided to join the military. I know Alan was in the Marines. So he kind of gave me crap for joining the Army. But I was in the Army for the past 4 years on active duty. So I did the Army thing for a while. I'm in the reserves now. But as of October of this last year, 2023, I decided to move to Nashville and finally get after it. And I hit the ground running here, man. I think it was day 3, I was looking for jobs. Week 1, I was looking for how I could start, getting my feet out there and get to gigging.
Yeah.
And so I did the Broadway thing where I went, business to business saying like, hey, I'm Morgan Greenlee. This is who I am. Like, I would love to perform. And I got hooked up into the Aldine and Casa Rosa circuit. So that was really cool that I got to experience that, gigging downtown on Broadway. Obviously, there is a ton of people down there, and it's just a cool experience, and that's why I love Nashville so much, is there is, entertainment after entertainment, bar after bar with all these different people, singing and just trying to make a living and, doing it because they had a passion for it. So that's really why I moved down to Nashville. I visited, I think, in 2015, 2016, and I fell in love with the city. And I always said someday I would move down here. It just ended up being a couple months ago. So now I'm doing the singer-songwriter thing, going to all these events and connecting with people. And I'll tell you, it's a grind. Like, I think really don't understand, like, you have to put yourself out there. So Nashville is a crazy time for sure.
No, it isn't. At least, we come to Nashville a lot, and we actually spend a fair amount of time at Casa Rosa. We like that place.
Yeah, it's a good place. Miranda did a good job with that place.
Yeah, and then we normally stay at the Moxie on Broadway when we come in, because it's easier to, obviously you're in the middle of everything, you walk around.
Yeah.
And then it's easier to Uber out of Broadway than to Uber in.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Have you found like a tribe of people yet to like write with? Play? It seems like everyone has like they find their tribe, and you find some people and you think it's cool, and you're like, it's not cool, fuck that guy, or fuck her. And
Right.
You eventually work through and you find your, kind of your tribe you pull on the same rope with you.
Yeah.
They push you, they support you, they lift each other up. Have you found that tribe yet?
Yeah.
I mean, you've only been there a short time, so I understand. Like,
I have, but like I said, I really did hit the ground running when I first got here. So I think I have a little team that I've made through work, and they are so supportive. They actually come to a lot of my writers' rounds, and some, like my first gig, I had a lot of people come to. So through work, but then also, when I was gigging downtown as well, anytime there'd be someone playing before me, I would try to make, it a point to go and meet them and to connect with them. And so I've met a lot of people through that who are writing with, Chase Matthews or Hannah McFarlane, who's a bigger up and coming artist. So, it's just like, you never know what you're going to run into and who you're going to run into and who knows who. And my biggest thing is here. And I think that's why I'm able to make the connections that I do. I really don't care about status. And I don't take that in a wrong way, but I just want to be a good person. If you're a good person and you're doing it because you have a passion for it, let me help you or you help me. The one thing I love about Nashville that I haven't really found yet, or have been disappointed with yet, is that everyone's kind of a part of this team together. Everyone's super supportive because we're all doing it. You know what I mean? We're all doing the writers' rounds. We're all writing until 8 p.m. or going out to, writers' rounds or little concerts for, up and coming artists. We're all doing the same stuff. And I think it's so cool, honestly. I was a little nervous about that moving to Nashville. I don't know anyone really besides my roommate here, and that's really it. But I have somehow gotten plugged in anywhere I've gone, and it's made me feel a lot more at home. So that's really it. That's comforting for me. There's some good people out here that just, whether they tell me or not, but they seem to want the best for me and for my career. And, I'm super supportive too. And like I said, I'm a big people person. I just want to have genuine and authentic connections with people. And that's really what it's all about. I don't want to be someone's friend or someone's, connection just because it's who they are and, they have this status. It's just who you are as a person. So that's my biggest thing,
Yeah, being genuine like that is definitely good. That's a good way of going about it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What got you into country music? Did you grow up listening to country music or?
I have always kind of been a little tomboy at heart. When I was 4 years old, my dad was taking me out hunting, and I'd pick out the doe I wanted him to, shoot. I know it's probably not good to say on a podcast, but from a young age,
that's okay.
I was about to say,
it don't matter here.
Yeah.
My parents will tell you, day one out of the hospital, my dad or my mom held me while they went fishing with me. And so from day one, I was always around hunting and fishing. My dad's a huge redneck, so he's always hunting and fishing. And so that's kind of what I was around. And, my dad was a big, well, I was about to say, I would say Garth Brooks, but just they always listen to country music. Garth Brooks, Tim McGraw, all that stuff. That's what I was raised around, And so for me, it just seems like that's what country music is all about. I mean, now you hear it all the time, hunt, fish, and loving every day, or hunt, fishing, beer. I mean, but that's what I was I grew up around. And so for me, it felt natural to kind of land in that genre. I wear hats all the time and flannels all the time, and
That's
so
awesome.
it's just I don't know. Just I feel like my vibe is probably more country than anything. But I think that's just kind of how I landed on that. Like my upbringing was very country, always doing something around the property. We had horses, so I mean, it just kind of naturally fell into my lap that way. I feel like.
Well, I think it's probably the best is to be genuine and kind of seeing what you are and seeing what you know. And, we have artists we work with and, for example, we bring them songs that other songwriters have written. Mm-hmm. And we're like, hey, how would you feel about singing this song? Like, is this something in your wheelhouse? Yeah. And some are like down for whatever. They're like, yeah, I'll sing it. But then it's funny because some of them are like, no, like it's not my life. It's not my lane. Yeah. But if I sing it, I can do it, and they believe they can do it. But they're like, but it's not genuine, and they don't feel like if it's genuine, you can't connect. And I think to a certain degree, I think that's why Beyonce is getting such a pushback because people think it's not genuine and it's bullshit. Yeah. They're just like, but everyone has their own. You got to find your lane and do your thing, and if there's a space for it, the market will allow it. Yeah. But you got to be able to, like you said, kind of, I don't want to say live with you, but like be comfortable with what you're putting out and what you're doing. You got to be happy about it. So I think you're definitely right in that lane. Well,
I think it's also kind of about relating to the people too, so it's like, where would I land? Would I land in, I don't know, like a club with rap and R&B? Like, I would not. I would try my best to have a good time. I'd probably have to be heavily intoxicated, but if you set me in a honky tonk and I'm listening to, some oldies with a beer, that's my jam. You know what I mean? Right. So it's really like what you're passionate about, and like, if you're passionate about country music, you're gonna sing it and you're gonna believe in it and all the things like you were just saying. Like, I think for going to Beyonce, I guess, I think, when I was growing up, even country wasn't cool. And like even Lainey Wilson now singing about country being cool again. It's because Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs and all these people have made country cool again, And so now I feel like country is probably one of the biggest genres right now. And so that's why, maybe Beyonce was like, I need to hop on that trend. It wasn't cool when I started out, but maybe now it'll kind of create a new audience or whatever it may be. So
I agree with that because, Post Malone's jumping in, him and Morgan working on some stuff. But the one thing I was talking to somebody about this last week, and they had brought up the Beyonce thing, and I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about Beyonce, but at the same time, not my, money speaks, so it's like whatever. But they're like, well, what's the difference between Beyonce and like Posty? And my thing is, I'm like, well, I think I could be totally wrong, but it seems like that Post Malone is kind of on a journey right now. Yeah. Like it's like he's like test driving a lot of different stuff. He's trying to grow. It doesn't seem like he wants to be the congratulations guy with the. I can't remember if I think he had braids or dreads like back in that video. It just seems like he's trying to like grow. It's not like a money thing. It's not a jump in a genre thing. It's like he's trying to, and he's like trying to write with Hardy and Morgan and Ernest and do these things where, supposedly Beyonce's singing like other people's songs. Like supposedly she's going to sing some Dolly. Heard she's going to sing some Sturgill, like some random things. But like you said, I think it's, especially in country, I think that obviously country's a big room now. Like there's space for a lot of different stuff. Yeah. But it seems like country, if it's not genuine, it's like they will push back.
They definitely push back.
It's not like in rap and hip hop where as long as you got a good beat, you can sing about frogs on the sidewalk. Like, nobody cares. If they can dance to it and they can't hear it, they don't even care like what the fuck it is. It could be mumble rap, it could be whatever,
It's true, I was about to say, I know like for Post Malone at least, I feel like I had heard on an interview or something like that he was also born and raised on country music. And so, when he probably went down that He probably got a lot of leeway from going down what would you call it, rap, pop, that road. And then when he fell into, being able to write and get in those rooms with Morgan and Hardy and all these things now that he's collaborating with, maybe he was like, no, like this is the world that I wanted to be a part of. Maybe it just like happened a different way. So I definitely support it though. I'm here for Post Malone getting into country music.
Yeah. And I think like with him, I think just kind of watching and following everything, I feel like that he'll bring something to the room. You mean like I don't know, like everyone's like, well, country has to evolve. It can't just be Merle Haggard all the time, which I get that.
Yeah.
But I think if it evolves for the right reasons, like anything, I think that's a positive. And I think, again, it could be wrong. I'm just a guy, but I think with how Post is doing and everything, I think that he is bringing value.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, I think, that jump into country, like you were saying, because it's big. They're like, oh, a money grab type thing. Mm-hmm. And they're not bringing value. They're just trying to find space. They can't find a space to sell some records or whatever. So like, maybe if I jump over here,
and
sing about some hunting and some fishing and some other people's shit, it'll get me on the radio and it'll get me,
Yeah. Yep. And I feel like Post Malone is he's super talented. I think that's another thing, and which is great. If you can jump to granted, if people like it or not, to each their own. Yeah. But if you are able to kind of jump back and forth between the two, I think that's super, like, you're talented for being able to do that and to do it well. It's like, that's a powerhouse move for sure. I think it's awesome.
Right. Yeah, especially if you can, partner to, I guess it depends who you ask, but I would say, Morgan's one of the biggest people in the world.
Yeah, he's huge right now.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants, and if you can, if you can be in the same room as that and work on that collaboration, shit.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit then, yeah.
Yeah, you're good then. You're on a right path for sure.
But it sounds like I was going to ask you what, so do you like, which is your, you probably like doing both, but do you like doing the Broadway thing more or the rounds more or both? Because I know kind of like when we come to town, we'll definitely do the Broadway, it's time and place. Mm-hmm. But, our preference is we kind of get outside the perimeter and, do like the local, kind of do.
Yeah, we're outside a little bit.
That stuff, we really like listening to, up and coming and original stuff. And, and kind of our gig is we create Bad Monkey to help upcoming artists.
Yeah.
So we're not really trying to, we'll help whoever, but in general, we're not trying to help people who already have help. There's people who are they're gonna find their money. They're gonna find their whatever. But our thing is like trying to help someone, like you or people who are trying to get through and just can't get a seat at the table because you have these rounds and you're like, Jesus, like, why are you right here right now? Like, what is your story and why? Like,
people are great. Yeah.
And then I've always wondered, like, and I always ask questions, especially when I'm drunk in Nashville. Like I'd ask,
which is a lot of the time.
But if I'm you're like sitting there and you're trying to make it, right? And you're there for a few months, and you sit up there and like, say you're sitting by, I don't know, like our boy Collins. He's a songwriter. He's like that old school country, and he's and they're there for a while and they've been working and like, and you talk to them and they're like, oh, I've been here for 10 years writing shit and they know everybody everywhere and and like, how does that inspire you? Does it like? I think for me, I'd be like, fuck me. Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's hard, yeah.
I'm one of those people. I don't know if it's from my military background. I don't know. But I am constantly go, go, go. And so, like I said, when I got here, as much as I would love to say, like, obviously I'm very blessed that those doors really started flying open, I feel like. It's a good reality check to be like, okay, Morgan, what direction do you really want to go down? heard a lot of different things from a lot of different people. And for me, my biggest goal is to, and I have it written down. I've listened to sermons, and it's like, what do I want most out of my career? And for me personally, it has always been to impact people through music. Now, you can take that one of two ways. You can impact people in a bar who's never going to remember your name, right? And don't get me wrong. Don't hear me wrong. Because that sounds so bad. But like you were saying, I have a lot of friends who have been on Broadway for 10 years. I'm going crazy sitting here for 5 months. Like, what can I do next? What can I do to grow? And if I'm not growing, that's where I kind of hit that oh shit button. Like, what else do I need to do? So with Broadway, that's a whole long story in itself, but I'm not really performing on Broadway anymore. Long story, it wasn't even me, but it was God really showing me just have faith in what I'm doing. And so the songwriting thing, that's my jam. That is I literally have so many lyrics in my phone that either are unfinished or finished. I write all the time. And I've always kind of said, I would love to be a singer-songwriter, maybe just a songwriter, because my nerves on stage, it's funny, I've kind of unlocked this new fear of doing writers rounds. And I think maybe it's just because I'm not familiar with it yet, or it's all very new to me and very vulnerable to be up on stage and doing your own music. I don't know. But for now, and what I want to do anyways, is impact people through my music, through Morgan's music, not singing a Carrie Underwood song for karaoke or on a stage in a bar.
Right.
That has been great experience, like I said, and I'm so blessed to have that opportunity. And whether I still do it as a side gig or not, but I love making connections with people, especially for writers rounds and stuff like that. And, like I said, now I'm trying to write with other people, which I have a lot of people that have been reaching out to me to write with, like, a guy who's written for Chase Matthews and people down, like I said, just connections. And like, I've written these songs and now let's get you under, our wing. Like, let's write together, let's collab. And so that's my kind of thing that I'm doing right now, is I want to build my own self now as a singer-songwriter and not focus so much on the performing on Broadway. Like I said, to each their own. If that's what you want to do, I know that'll pay the bills. It has good money in it. But for right now, I'll tell you, I am struggling financially, but it's all a part of it. You know what I mean? You have to you have to realize that nothing in this world, and especially in this city, is going to be handed to you. You got to go out there and you got to work for it yourself. And so that's where right now I let God have the reins. Like, I know that everything's going to happen the way it's supposed to, because I believe in myself and what I bring to the table as an artist and even as an individual, just as a person. And I know that will set me in rooms and places that I need to be. So that's me for right now. I'm just focusing on my own career at this point.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we know artists and stuff that do the Broadway thing, like, and you can make really good money if you focus on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, good money.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is like, my opinion is you got to kind of pick a lane. Like, like I tell my kids, like when I was, still, but I'm like, when you get a job, people get a job and then they get a raise and they spend that raise. Yeah. And they get another raise and they spend that raise. Next thing you know, they're stuck in this job they don't really want, but they got to replace that money. Yeah. So I think correlation, like, you can play on Broadway, you can play, 4 shows a day, like 5 days a week. You can make it like a job. Like, you're like 8 to 5, I'm playing. Or like I'm playing 8 hours a day. Like, the other thing is if you suddenly want to write songs, and you get into the songwriter portion, and then you stop playing, you kind of got yourself in this position where you're like, I can't afford not to be on Broadway. Yeah. Right. So it's like, it's almost better. It's better, it's better to realize your lane now. Yeah. Than in 2 years, and you're like, I'm making 80, 90 grand a year. I can't afford. and you're like, and I'm driving a Range Rover. You paid the money, and you're like, and I got a condo downtown. And you're like, I can't afford.
I can't go right now because I gotta play. I gotta play Broadway tonight again.
Yeah.
So, no, that's great. That's great news. That's exciting. I mean, you could look at Hardy's a good example of that. As a writer who wrote for a lot of good people, and then later on, if he decided, hey, I want to come back to the stage and do it, well, there you go. It's always going to be there.
I think Hardy said he wrote like 700-800 songs before he got his first break, which is like it's a crazy number.
Yeah. No, I mean, it happens, and like I said, I have faith in what I got going, whether that be just songwriting. I would love, like I said, I mean, I moved here to be an artist, my own artist, with my own music. And I know something, and I even sometimes look at videos that people take of me on, like when I was performing on Broadway or even writers' rooms, and I'm like, Morgan, where does this come from? Because that's my element. I am able to be 100% myself and bullshit with the crowd or whatever. I'm just like, you are wild, but at least, I have that stage presence and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And I was about to say, I know that's a good thing to have kind of naturally, which thankfully I have. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm a social butterfly. I'm just always myself, I try to just stay true to who I am, and I'm not afraid of that. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm a bullshitter. I literally sometimes I feel like I'm too much. I'm just like, Morgan, you got to stop joking like that. But I think
you've been in good with us.
So this motherfucker, this guy,
oh shit,
he's a songwriter as well.
Yeah,
and he can't fucking sing.
I can't sing.
He'll get drunk karaoke. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
I am not musical at all. So we have like a yin and yang, but I'm always telling this guy, I'm like, would you shut the fuck up? Like, he talks to everybody, and they'll come to me like I know them. I'm like, I don't know you. And I actually, once you get to know me more, I don't like people, like in general. I got my circle, I got my people.
Yeah.
Like our artists and everything like that. I'm like, I got you. There are people like. And if you're a people, I'm down. Like Alan, like, we're cool people, like your cousin, like, we're cool. But if you're not in my circle, I'm like, the fuck do you want? And he's talking to walls and flowers and butterflies and like telling stories and shooting shit. And everyone's like, and they think because he likes them and talking to them, they're like, we know Marvin. I'm like, I don't give a fuck who you know.
Yeah.
Like, we're not. Someone's like, you're telling yourself, like, calm down. I'm telling him to calm down. He can't, like, self-filter, and
then I leave him there, and I'm like, hey, I'll see you later. Good luck.
He's like, I'm drunk, I'm going home. I'm like, the fuck? You're leaving me here?
These people are like, hey, Bishop, how are you doing? And he's like, I'm not. Get away from me.
Start growling at him.
Yeah, he starts growling.
It's like the yin and yang, but I'm like, dude, you need to stop throwing me to the fucking wolves.
It's hilarious.
But you're telling a story, and it's funny because as you're telling all this, like it sounds like him. I don't know if it's like a songwriter thing,
Yeah.
When you play the rounds, you're playing like, how they'll do like, 3-4 people an hour or whatever they rotate. Are you playing with the same like people? Are you playing with like your people? So you're just up there,
just hopping up
solo, mixed in with 3-4 other people. I mean, fortunately, artists, which is kind of a cool thing. They're pretty supportive of each other in the rounds, which is cool.
Yeah.
We got some artists we work with, and they have a group, and I think it really helps them. They play rounds together. Yeah. Like they'll go like off, there'll be 4 of them.
Yeah.
And they're up there at the same time. And I think that's a definite, like, and they definitely will play. They play outside state, they tour, they do this, that. But I think that's a serious, security blanket.
Yeah, it is. It makes them feel comfortable. Your
people.
They know who's next to them.
Yeah.
In our last party, we brought a couple out, and we've kind of done this. So every year we do we do a Halloween party every year in Denver, and then we got talked into last year during the St. Patty's Day party. We're like, okay, whatever. And And then our Halloween party came this year, and then we decided to do like a Nashville round type thing.
Cool.
So instead of having like a opener, da-da-da-da-da, we brought 3 artists out, and we're very much like, I'll say hands off for the artists and stuff.
Yeah.
But we want you to do your music. We're not someone to be like, hey, we what's the get rid of your wife, lose some weight.
Whiten your
Hank
teeth.
Williams? Yeah.
Change your name.
So I just told him, I was like, we want to bring some Nashville here, so we want, if y'all could just do like a round. And they were like, oh, so down for that. And like 3 of them got up there, and they like put the show together. Mm-hmm. And they sang their own shit. They sang some covers. They sang together. They did, like one of our guys, Garrett, he does WAP.
Yeah.
He does like
Cardi B.
Cardi B WAP. He does a cover of like.
Yeah. He does it at the very end of the show, just so you know. That's
like, what is that? But it's like, but it's funny. So that was so well received. Mm-hmm. So we did St. Patty's Day this year. I kind of got cornered and talked into it. I wasn't going to do it, but we did it. They brought 2 girls out, and then they kind of did the same thing, and everyone loved, like, the vibe of everything was like,
it's really cool.
Like just the people who attended, like all the, I don't say fans or whatever you can call it, but everyone that was there, it was a very like cohesive environment, very supportive environment, and that was the whole like. It's funny how that happened like organically, but the whole point of the round was to kind of bring that kind of Nashville energy, the round energy, not the fucking Tootsie's energy or but I like that vibe, and I just like people working together, the collaborative, support.
I mean, on the other side of that, if you're out there playing with people that you don't know, then you get to pick up on some new stuff and some new energy from them. Yeah. So there is a plus and minus to both sides of that. I mean, sometimes having that push you a little bit with the fear of being up there is not a bad thing, But so I can see both sides of that. So.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting hopping up on stage with a bunch of people you don't know, but it's like we're all kind of on the same boat. I actually, funny enough, and man, I couldn't tell you her name, but I actually played around with Garth Brooks' daughter. So you know what I mean? Like, you just never know who you're sitting next to. I've, been to a lot of rounds where it's like the guy I think he helped write Son of a Sinner, Jelly Roll. He just started playing it. So it's like, obviously he was in that room when, they were writing it. So, you never know who you're going to hop into. And my first round, I had one of those, quadruple, they'd all known each other. So they were harmonizing and they were playing double guitar in their rounds. And then I'm sitting there
it's my turn.
Pants because I'm like, I don't know anybody. And y'all are just all homies. But, like I said, it's a really supportive and cool environment. They all stuck around.
That's awesome too.
We connected. But like I said, I try to just be Morgan and fuck everything else. Everyone else is, their own individual, and there's some amazing people, amazingly talented people in this town. And you just kind of gotta, no one has what I have. I don't have what buddy next to me has. You know what I mean? So it's just like, own what it is. Own what it is. If you have a decent voice, but you can songwrite, sing that song. Your voice might not really match with it, but that's okay, because that's why we're all here. We're all discovering our passions, whether that be songwriting, whether that be, entertainment, and like just you singing and you're an amazing performer. We're all doing the same thing. And I think that's what's so unique about, especially all the writers' rounds, is you get to see who they are as an individual. And especially them, talking about their song and how they wrote it, whatnot. It's a really cool thing to experience. I took my parents out to a writer's round, and it was one of Rebel Rousers, one of the rounds that I do here in town. And they had their anniversary round, and they brought in some amazing people. And even my parents were like, this is the coolest thing I've ever experienced. Just listening to all this raw talent and these songs that you would think that would be on the radio, but they're, they might be, they might not be.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting to see, all these people and what they bring to the table. And there is unlimited talent in this town. I swear I'm like, I have to try to just remember, like, Morgan, you're at your own pace. You give yourself some grace. You just moved here 5 months ago, and I don't have 5 songs out yet because you got to make your money to get in the studio. But man, it's incredible, and it's humbling, but also encouraging to see all these different people and how they're making it, how their music is, like what works with them, what works with you. So it's really cool. And especially I'm really excited to start songwriting with people. I've kind of always just songwritten by myself because I really do. I mean, sometimes I'm able to just get them out quick, but to collaborate with people, and get another take on maybe this would sound better. You know what I mean? Like I think that's super cool. It brings all these different minds together for one project. And I think that that's super, super special.
She sounds like our boy Garrett.
Yeah, she does.
Like,
what's his name? Last name?
Schultz. So he's signed with us. He's on Bad Monkey.
Uh-huh.
And he's always like, sometimes I'm like, fucking breathe. Like he's definitely like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's go now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and we love him. Like he's our boy, and like, but he's straight up like. Sometimes like getting him to breathe, it's like, like right now we put him in the studio in December. And he recorded songs, and we're releasing it now. And he's like, let's release it now. We're like, dude, hold on.
It's a process.
We're trying to, we're trying to, and we're independent. We're, we're trying to help, and we're like, so we're not trying to waste our resources. So we want to do it correctly, But it's funny, like listening to you. I don't know if you felt the same. Like,
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Listen to you. You're like a female version of him.
Yeah.
And he is in the Army. Is he still in Army Reserves?
I'm not sure if he's still in. Yeah, he was in the Guard.
He was in the Guard, and then it's funny. I was in the Navy. He was in the Air Force. So we understand that vibe and the go. And we're always like, it's funny because we're like, we listen. We're like, we understand. And also we understand sometimes you're sitting in the house and you got time to think. And you're like, and we'll get these like texts at fucking 10 o'clock at night or whatever, or like 6 in the morning, like, hey.
Yeah, it's normally at 6 in the morning.
Like, hey, what you doing? We're like, who me?
Who, me? Nothing.
Nothing. Just
hanging around.
Sleeping.
But so what's your, like, I realize that so is your goal to write and sing your own music? Is that your goal?
Yeah. And I know you saying go. I'm long-winded, but I think it's because like I'm passionate about this stuff. I want people to get to know the real Morgan, and because at the end of the day, I do want to be a singer-songwriter and a performer, all the things. And I don't want to be like everybody else who's doing it. You know what I mean? Right. And I'm passionate about that. I want to be a person who, I'm not doing it for the fame and for the money and for the likes and all that stuff, even though I know that's what gets you out more, and that's amazing, but I just want to be that person when I walk in the room. It's like, that's a damn good human, and she can rock that shit as well. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's a great attitude to have, for sure.
Yeah.
I love that attitude. I mean, we're all about positive and being positive and positive vibes. Yeah. I mean, that's real important to us. And even though Bishop doesn't like a lot of people, it is important to us that we're positive and that we stay focused and not let everything pull you down. Stay away from the negative energy and just drill down on that positive vibe.
Yeah.
I always talk about staying out of the weeds. Like, you get the energy you put back. Yeah,
because everything else will come for you. I mean, as you stay positive and you let the man upstairs take over and guide you and just go with it, it's going to turn out well. You
Yeah.
know, the money, the fortune, fame, and all the things that come with it do come with it in
Right.
time, in due time, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's my biggest thing right now is, I am in that struggle, and I think that that's kind of molding me, especially, I heard a quote or whatever, and it's like, if God or, you were thrown into that situation, would you be able to handle the heat? And it's just
Right.
like, I know that I'm at that point right now where I'm getting, tweaked to be able to handle what is to come, and that's my biggest thing right now is just grinding, because it's going to make me thankful in the end, and more appreciative of all the things that are going to come my way. So,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I appreciate this whole conversation. You come on the podcast. I appreciate all of it. And, just us doing what we do. If there's something we can help with or assist you with, we're here for it. Just let us know if there's something we can do. We're going to be in Nash Friday.
Yeah, this coming Friday.
Saturday. Not sure when we fly out Sunday, but we're in this weekend. We got meetings on Friday night. We're gonna be just not. We have our spots we go hit and stuff like that and hang out. But if you're around, maybe we link up and hang out and we might have some other artists with us that we're because one place we go, we like Bottle Cap out in
it's over on 12 South,
and we usually make a appearance there, and it's like a hangout spot for us. And and then people we end up, I don't know how you explain, kind of catching people where we're here, and people come in, like we link up, and sometimes it's easier for y'all to stop in for 5 minutes or be like, hey, or whatever, than us chasing people around. If that makes sense. And if people don't, they don't. Whatever.
Yeah,
we don't ill will it. Like every year we come CMA Fest, and every year we leave, and it's like there's like 50 things we didn't do or people that we didn't see, but it is what it is. Yeah. But yeah, like it'd be great if you're around. I'll hit you up this weekend, and if you're around, we'll link up. But we sincerely appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And I'm kind of excited for your journey. I think you have a lot of potential. I think good things are going to happen with you. Like I have good feelings about it. I have good.
Well, I mean, the attitude is really the biggest part of it. You have the right attitude. I mean, that's really what it takes in anything that you do in life. And I can definitely tell you have that strong attitude in your belief in where you want to go. And that's exciting.
No, I appreciate it. And thank you. Like I said, you didn't know me from, I guess, Alan, but thank you for letting me come on and talk for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and like, Alan, his friend group, his circle. Mm-hmm. So with us, and so if he recommends someone, it carries a lot of weight in our circle. Yeah. And he's your family, and your family is the type to be like, she's a shitbird, don't talk to her. Like he would never have like talked to me about you if your word's the most important thing you have. So he wouldn't have brought us together if he didn't think we were meant to be together. If he didn't think that, I kind of look at it as like with God, there's a reason that he brought me to you, and and me to you, and so there's something was meant for us to talk. Yeah, we'll see what that is.
I love that. Yeah. But, I appreciate it. Like I said, and it's good talking to you guys. Yeah, let me know when you're in town, and I'd love to come out and even just meet you, be able to shake your hand, give you a hug. I'm a hugger.
Yeah, and even if like I'm sitting here thinking, if even if we introduce you to Garrett, if they end up linking up, we can put you into our little, maybe I'll hate each other, maybe something clicks, maybe something. You just never know. Again, you never know.
Yeah, but that's the business of it.
Yes, ma'am. But we'll let you get back to your life. I know you're kind of a busy girl, and you got the job and got the things to do, and it is it's Palm Sunday.
It is Palm Sunday. It is. Yeah.
Does that affect you? I don't think it.
No, not really. No.
He's Jewish, so he killed Jesus. So
Jesus was a Jew. He was a carpenter.
I'm Catholic, so we got some like Alabama LSU stuff going on here. We don't like either school, but he's from West Virginia. I'm from South Carolina, so we got that whole, But
we got that whole redneck thing that goes. Yeah.
Yeah. But I get sidetracked. But any closing thoughts for you, Marv?
Yeah, not really. I'm just excited to meet you, and like I said, I'm excited for your journey. I think you're on the right track. The attitude is the biggest thing I could tell anybody coming up through this, and you have the right attitude, and that will guide you through. And but I'm excited to say hello to you. So come on out, and we'll buy you that beer.
I will be there. I will absolutely be there.
Yeah, I'm excited for I think this is going to be. I think the three of us were meant to meet for a reason. So I'm good. I'm glad about this.
Yeah.
But guys, thanks for. Guess we're going to close it out.
Yeah, let's close it out.
Thanks for joining Marv and Morgan today for Before 6. I'll tell you why it's called Before 6 this weekend when we.
There's a story behind that too.
Story. But yeah.
I got you.
Tune in for our next episode, and please continue to support up and coming artists. Please go to madmonkeyentertainment.com, like and follow us on all social media platforms. Also, like and follow Morgan on all her. Oh, what's your
Instagram
is
Mosey Jane. So that's going to be my stage name. Yep.
Okay. Mosey Jane.
Mosey Jane. Okay. Mosey Jane. Cool.
Yep.
That's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. Good job. Like and follow Mosey Jane Morgan on all her social platforms. Till next time, this is Marv and Bishop, and it's time for happy hour on a
Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday.
All
I don't know
right.
if that makes me a good Catholic or not, but
I don't know. I think
here we go.
Here we go. Let's go. I'm ready.
You ready, Marv?
I'm more than ready. Let's go.
You've been listening to Bad Monkey Entertainment's Before 6 podcast with your hosts, Marv and Bishop, streaming on all platforms. We look forward to reconnecting soon. Before 6.